Elon Musk decided to take over a Clubhouse room last night. The room, he had announced it earlier in the day. He was going to come on the app at about 10 p.m. last night on Clubhouse. The room immediately hit its maximum within seconds of launching the room.
I was peeing. I was brushing my teeth at the same time, also trying to get into this room on Clubhouse, just tapping with my thumb.
How many people
one hand on the peen, one hand on the
5,000.
phone. Tap, tap, tap. Room is full. Room is full. It's the first time I've witnessed and felt what it was like to be in a club in the digital world.
Yep.
You know when you're waiting outside the club or the bar and you're waiting to get in, the bouncer's like, yeah. And I was like, no, please. Like, I'm Jake Paul's brother. You gotta let me in, please. And so I went to an overflow room. Like
that's where I was already there.
You were.
They only had like peanuts and pretzels and shit like that. It was like you had to pay for the bar. Like the other room had like open bar, had like recliners, all that shit.
Up.
We had to sit on fucking stools. It was horrible. And I was back and forth between listening to Elon Musk talking about the difference between our limbic state and our digital state, and dropping quads in Call of Duty Warzone, which eventually took my attention. I only stayed for about, I think, 30 to 40 seconds of Elon's speech, because I was just plus I was in the overflow room. It's like looking at the VIP from the GA section, just like why is like Grant Cardone in there and I can't fucking get in?
Because he's got hundreds of millions of dollars.
Dude. Nonetheless, the one thing I did do was I found this chain of cliff notes from a guy named Kunal Shah on Twitter. Sent it over to you, and I wanted to run through some of these cliff notes today from Elon's little Clubhouse chat last night.
Yeah.
Number one, in 5.5 years, people will be on Mars. It's 5.5 years before we get people to Mars.
No shot.
Can I say
no
something?
Shot.
Can I say something?
Is it related to Elon Musk and Mars?
It's related to this whole space thing, and I hope I don't feel like a dick for saying this, but like I don't understand why they spend so much money trying to go to space when there's so much work to be done.
Okay,
here.
so that and we get to that as well. And so just on the Mars thing, let's take that first and foremost. People believe that we can get people to Mars, but the ability to actually inhabit or sustain life there, we are approximately 100 to 200 years away from that capability. So like, would it be nice to, treat it like Tampa or Tuscaloosa and visit for a weekend? Sure. Stay on the ship, social distance. Is there social distancing on Mars?
Yeah. When he says people, he means like folks or an astronaut? Astronauts.
So he talked a little bit about this more. Travel possible every 2 years, and we'll need 6 months to travel. So it's only possible every 2 years. It's not possible to travel when Mars is on the other side of the sun.
Can I ask you something?
Yep.
I love Elon Musk, right?
Yep.
But the Tesla Roadster has experienced years and years of delay. It's like, I think it's delayed 2 years from the original estimate, maybe a year. I just don't know how this is remotely feasible. I just don't get it.
It might be just a thing to get people to invest in a company.
You know what I think he's very good at is having delusional ideas and then eventually turning them into reality. Like when we watched his Neuralink speech live with the pigs who had the chips in their brain, Mike and I were like, oh, this is all like speculative. This is still very much an idea. Like he's hiring people actively as we speak to invent the technology that is still just his idea.
Right.
It's a good idea. It's incredibly optimistic and idealistic, but if he gets it done, he is one of the greatest minds of our time, but he could be one of the greatest minds of humanity if he gets some of the things that he wants to get done.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think there is a huge difference between, getting people into space or getting people to Mars and actually being able to, do anything meaningful there. And that brings us to the second point, which was the question that George asked, which was regarding multiplanetary and why are we talking about other planets when we have work to do here? And he talked about that regarding possible external calamities, which we've seen in history, such as mass extinctions. And so I think Elon very much wants to have a backup plan and have an ability to get us off this fucking planet and to re-civilize if there's going to be a mass extinction event. He's talked about this in the past, and this is the reason why he's so intent on getting to Mars.
Yeah, but also that's just like a hypothesis that you're freaking out about.
Say that to the dinosaurs. Have you talked to any recently?
No.
They were hit by a fucking massive.
You know why? Because
meteor.
they were trying to go to the moon.
The dinosaurs were.
And they weren't thinking about each other. So they died. Look what happens.
There's a lot of
Greedy.
there's a lot of alien talk. I found that was interesting. I also found it incredibly disappointing for the kid in me, the conspiracy theorist who wants to believe aliens exist. He says he hasn't seen any conclusive evidence that aliens exist. Everything basically can be described with some sort of logical or rational means.
Which I mean, you kind of have to. He seems agnostic, but leaning towards the idea that that there's no conclusive evidence. I mean, we don't have an alien being in possession, at least that we know of. We don't have a ship in possession, at least that we know of. And so,
And is he talking about Elon saying this?
Yeah, this is all notes from Elon speaking.
Is Elon part of anything that has to do with the government? Does he have a?
He's
like a seat?
anti-government.
Okay, so they're like
He's heavy behind the crypto, the rise in crypto, and has talked a lot about the legitimacy of crypto as a platform for decentralization. And so
When the moment the question was asked about Bitcoin, I went to my Coinbase because who knows what he's going to say. And he prefaced by saying, I have to be careful what I say here because some of these things can really affect the market.
yeah.
that's crazy.
As,
that much
as
power.
soon as the question was asked about Bitcoin, I bought 2 Bitcoins, 70K, like that.
And it didn't have any significance. It
Nah,
went down.
It went.
right?
I think it went up like 600
Yeah.
at the moment. There were some other people thinking what I thought, but he said he believes in it. Right? He said views on Bitcoin. I should have bought Bitcoin 8 years ago. I'm late to the party. I'm a supporter of Bitcoin. It's on the verge of wide acceptance by the financial world.
This one that didn't surprise me much, but I guess the way that he stated it, those who control memes control the universe. Memes are complex forms of communication. Pictures say 1,000 words. Memes probably say 10,000.
Wow.
He has a meme dealer.
A kick-ass.
This guy's a
meme dealer.
very like you can't really put a finger on it. He's just everywhere, huh?
Yeah.
His mind is everywhere.
And he talked, and I heard him talking a little bit about that as well, about time management, about not having time, about going meeting to meeting to meeting. And also, even it was interesting listening to him actually state some of his weaknesses in that respect as to how hard it is to context switch. He was using this term, I think it was context switching, between sending a man to Mars, making a pig feel a tick sent from a cell phone, and producing a car with a sustainable battery for the masses. like imagine going from your 12 o'clock, sitting in a room with astronauts that are like, yo, like when am I going to the red planet? And the next meeting is with like some like livestock broker who's like, yo, I can get you 46,000 pigs at a really affordable. Like this dude this dude will go down, and there's a lot of Elon Musk naysayers out there. And I don't know how the fuck it's possible. This dude will go down as one of the brightest minds in the history of the world.
He has to be shrooming.
No, he does.
Oh,
He is.
yeah.
No, he
Oh, he
is.
talks-
Yeah.
He has to, bro.
He absolutely is.
For you to go from pigs to astronauts, like you said, and not be intoxicated is like your brain would hurt.
They've actually graduated. Yeah, monkeys. We have the best monkey facility and are keen to get them to play some games with their mind. Early applications could be for people with brain injury before it becomes available to all.
And then this
Neuralink.
Yeah, and then this next one.
He said it's a Fitbit for your skull. Cool, man. Sounds good. What's the worst that could happen?
Controlling everybody to do stuff.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
I fixed my dyslexia, but my hand, it just keeps going. I can't. Oh my God. I can read a book though. Somebody fucking help me here. Dude, I went way too hard on that joke. My head hurts.
Yeah, you
so
were really
bad.
getting yourself there.
Oh, fuck.
Big brand shout outs to both YouTube and Reddit, which was really interesting. Most of my kids' education is from YouTube and Reddit. The thing is too is like, it's really interesting to see someone in Elon's, or I guess my also age bracket, give such a level of respect to alternative methods of education.
Yeah.
And memes and Bitcoin. Like I think he's the guy that basically looks at this massive introduction of new technologies and new shit that Gen Z has given us and been like, yo, that's one. Yeah. Everything else, throw it or not maybe throw it away, but like these are the ones I'm sure of. Online, platforms
He's
as an education.
a tastemaker, A.
Yeah.
And then B, he's able to identify good taste.
Curator almost.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe because
which
there's
is a
no
talent in
Absolutely
itself.
it is.
Multi-talented human.
I bet you he has such sick fucking playlists on Spotify.
Oh my
I
God.
guarantee you, and maybe they're public. I don't even know. Like Elon, if you have a playlist on Spotify, like send it to Logan. I know you guys talk a lot.
Yeah.
Never. You've never
No,
talked
not
to him.
once.
Ever. I did see him that one time at Boa, which was odd to me.
I passed him underground at a UFC fight. Do you know how tall he is?
I would assume it would be hard to tell while you're in under the ground. Why were you underground?
7'1".
Got it. No, he's not.
6'4".
No, he's 6'4".
6'4". Looked like 6'5". And wearing a what's that long coat that you wore?
Trench coat?
Yeah, but it was like stylish, and so he just looked huge. He's just
like the one you have, but stylish.
Just a big personality. Yeah.
Said this one was really, really interesting to me. Probably the most interesting of the things he said. Why doesn't the world have more Elon Musks? He said, I feel a strong compulsion to do things I do. It's very painful, and not sure many people feel like doing it. Most people who want to be like me don't do it. Don't do a startup if you need encouraging. Don't do a startup if you need encouraging words. It comes from deep compulsion. People ask me all the time, where do you find the motivation? Where do you find the drive, the desire? You know, what would make me want to do the things that so-and-so have done? He's basically saying, yo, like that's the kind of thing that you're born with. It's the kind of thing that you are born with to create business. Now, everybody's born with something different. If you're not a startup person and you're asking startup people, yo, how do I get motivated to do a startup? You're not a startup person, is what he's saying. It's a very, very deep compulsion that exists inside of you to want to wake up in the morning and devote yourself wholly to 1 or 2 or 3 or 5, in his case, projects over everything else in life, over girlfriends, over partying, over family, over your pets, over everything else, to devote yourself 24 hours a day. 4 a.m. rolls around, you're sleeping on the couch at SpaceX. That's a compulsion. You can't teach that shit.
Yeah.
It's not available for education.